Okay, I'm starting a Festa Brew brown ale. This isn't going to take long. I got everything ready. I've sanitized my primary fermenter, the spigot, the stirring spoon. I set up the Festa Brew. I have to move it so I can show it. I set up the Festa Brew so that the cap sticks out of the corner of the box, so that hopefully I can get that cap off without making a big mess and then pour it into the fermenter. Okay, ready to do that. I also prepared the yeast mixture ahead of time, put a bit of warm water in a sanitized measuring jug with a sanitized spoon, and I let the yeast sit for a few minutes. It's gotten all foamy, so I know it's active. And I will pour that in after I put the wort into the fermenter. So the next thing to do is get this cap off, and that might take a while. Got it? It splashed a little bit. Now, can I lift this box up without that making a mess? What's showing here? Okay, the fermenter shows fine. Up it goes. And start pouring. Well, I must say, that's an interesting thing to do. A little bit of splashing, but none of the wort splashed on surfaces that were not clean and then went in. A bit of it ended up on the box, but it just stayed on the box. It didn't bounce in. So now it's in there. Normally you don't want oxygen to get into your wort, but this is the one time when it's good to do that. It's good for it to be oxygenated just at the beginning when you're putting the yeast in. And that's what I'm doing next. And I just have to stir the yeast in. Of course, it's very foamy, but it's pouring foam. It's foam that happened because I disturbed the liquid so much. So in a few hours, I'll look at this again and I'll be seeing foam, but I'll be seeing fermenting foam. That's what I want to see. And all that I'm going to do, this isn't even in the instructions at this stage, is I'm going to take a hydrometer reading. Again, this has been sanitized. My hands are sanitized. The tricky thing, of course, is going to be able to get the reading with all this foam in the way. I'm going to try it. Yeah, so I can see the surface of the liquid. I'm getting there. Yeah, there it is. And it's about 1.042, which sounds about normal, I think, for a Festa Brew brown ale. That's probably fine. This is a Cooper's DIY fermenter. It has the spigot, which I checked to make sure was not leaking before I started this. And I won't touch that spigot. Where are my cap holders? There they are. So I'm just going to put these on. If the fermentation is very, very vigorous, it could foam up quite high and the foam could push the lid off. So for this stage, you have these caps that hold the lid onto the krausen collar. So the krausen collar can lift up a bit to let carbon dioxide escape, but the cap, the top won't pop off. And we're ready. This is done. So this was starting a Festa Brew brown ale. I also have a storage container. I can't really see it. Okay, there you can see it a bit. I have a storage container underneath the table, sticking out a bit, so that the spigot is above the container. That way, if there is a spill, anything that spills will go into that plastic container, and it will be easy to clean up. But nothing will spill because I'm going to leave this alone and be very gentle with it. Thank you very much for visiting Home Fermenter's Diaries, and I'll see you next time.